start right away.
Right, where are we going?
Okay, and Buckley asked us to their apartment for dinner tonight. She phoned this morning, said she had some good news.
Oh, Buckley put over the deal, I guess, with the chain stores, huh? That plastic bag of his?
Oh, I don't think that's their big news. I think it's something much more important than that.
More important than that? Why, that means thousands of dollars. I don't know. What could be more important than that?
Something? Nothing. Get my coat, will you, dear?
Yeah.
Night, Tommy. Night, Ben.
Night, Mom.
Kay said she was sorry she couldn't have you, too, but she had to have Buckley's father and mother.
Is Kay gonna cook?
Mm-hmm.
You better take your bicarb with you.
Oh, boy, don't keep so hard.
Your jokes get funnier every
Stanley,
year.
please. I promise if you go to the movies, Ben, you drop her on your way to the game.
Okay.
Oh, and, Delilah, stack of the dishes since we're out with you. Missed the first of the picture.
Take this thing.
Tommy, don't study too late. And remember, if the rug man calls, tell him to call again. Damn. What's got into you?
It's spring.
It must be.
Yes, sir, we're in a rut, Ellie. Not that it isn't a pleasant rut, but I think we ought to get out of it. You know, you're a very beautiful woman, Ellie.
I stand.
A very, very beautiful woman. Trouble is, I never see you. Come home at night, you want to know if I've seen the hole in the carpet or whether I'll fix the leaky faucet or something. Oh, I don't mean that it's your fault, no. I think we ought to forget about it, though. We ought to forget the house, forget the whole thing. Go away and take a trip. No reason why we can't. We're as free as the air. Kind of like when we were first married. Before Kay came along. Only this time we're not broke. We could even go to Europe.
I think we better wait and hear what Kay has to say.
Honolulu. What about Honolulu? That's the place. How about it, Ellie?
We'll see.
Oh, sure. Waikiki Beach. Moonlight on Waikiki. Flowers, ukulele, romance. A bling, 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 blinkety bling, bling. Well, I'm going to call up that travel agency in the morning, find out about those freighters.
Hi there. Hello, darling.
There she was, my Kay, the darling of my heart. I couldn't yet believe she was a married woman. She still seemed like a kid to me, playing at keeping house.
How are you? You feeling all right?
Feeling all right. Look at her. How does she look? Never looked better in her life.
Oh, thank you, Paul.
How's he treating you?
Oh, fine. You miss it?
Don't talk.
Hello.
I was full of the milk of human kindness that night. I even looked at my son-in-law with a friendly eye. I don't say that he was my ideal, but I was getting used to him.
Father Banks, how are you? Nice to see you. How you been?
Come on in. Don't stand out here.
Say, do you think we could kind of do away with that Father Banks stuff? Just call me Stanley.
Okay, Stan.
Not Stan, Stanley.
Stanley.
Yeah.
Okay, Stanley.
How about a little golf on Sunday?
Oh, you're on.
Darling, it's wonderful to see you again. How are you two?
Well, Herbert, boy, how are you?
Oh, so.
Why, you look wonderful. Doris, how are you?
How are you?
What's wrong with the old man?
It's the spring. It always takes it out of him.
Takes it out, puts it into me, doesn't it, darling?
I suppose you got the same message we did. Some very important news.
That's
What
right.
does it say? I can't wait. You had your cocktail.
Oh, darling, you can't do this to us.
Buckley, you tell us. We're all here now.
Thank you,
But I
Bucky.
hope it is.
I know what it is. Great news, eh, Buckley?
Well, I think it is.
Oh, Buckley, did you tell them and not tell us?
No. I guessed it. You really put it over, didn't you, boy?
Oh, Buckley, he's not right. It's not that horrid contract.
A contract, is that what it is?
Thousands of dollars.
Oh, and we hoped it was a baby.
Oh, I prayed for a baby, and now to hit this.
But, Mom, that's what it is. It is a baby.
A baby?
A baby? Oh, Buckley, that's wonderful. Oh, congratulations. I'd never seen such excitement. Kay was passed around like a loving cup. I can't tell you how delighted I am. That's Buckley stood by, trying to look modest. He only succeeded in looking slightly half-witted. I grinned and tried to join in, but somehow there was a fly in the ointment. I couldn't put my finger on it, but there was definitely a fly.
Yes, sir. That's the greatest news I've had in years. How about that, Grandpa?
Grandpa. That was the fly. Grandpa. First he steals my daughter, now he makes a grandpa out of me.
I do wish you'd go to Dr. Barnes. After all, he's taken care of her all her life. I suppose this man is all right, though. Good gracious, November, that doesn't give me much time, and I have a million things to do. Ben, Tommy.
What do you want them for?
I want to tell them. Ben, Tommy, wake up. Tommy, Ben, boys, you hear me?
Something wrong? What is it?
The
matter?
The most exciting news. Kay's having a baby.
Right now?
No, silly, in November.
Poor Buckley.
Poor Buckley? What do you mean, poor Buckley? You wouldn't say that if you'd been there tonight. He was just bursting with pride. We were standing there telling him how delighted we were, and he just stood there looking sort of cute and shy. Wasn't he cute, Stanley?
Cutest thing you ever saw.
Oh, all right, all right. You're all like you men. Good night, Tommy. Sorry I woke you up. Now, night, Ben. Go back to your book.
Good night, Ben. Good night, Tommy. No need of broadcasting this, you know.
Mrs. Dixon, please.
Ellie, what are you doing calling people up at this time of the night?
Well, will you please ask her to call Mrs. Banks the minute she comes in? I have some very important news to tell her. Ruth Dixon would not forgive me if I didn't tell her right away. You know, I think I'll give Kay a baby shower. We could have it on a Saturday, and you could ask the men to come in after.
Ellie, do we really have to blazon this thing from the housetops?
Huh?
You know, after all, it really isn't our affair.
Stanley, what's the matter with you? I swear you act as though you almost didn't like the idea.
I don't.
Why, Stanley? For heaven's sake, why?
I'll tell you why, exactly why. In the first place, they haven't got room enough for a baby. The little apartment they live in isn't big enough for the two of them, much less a baby.
But they can always...
Second place, they can't afford a baby. Babies cost money. The older they get, the more they cost. What do they think they're going to use for money? You heard him tonight, didn't you? When I asked him if he had the contract, said no. But did that faze him? Oh, no. He just stood there looking cute. Cute. And he's the one who's going to be the father. Well, I'll tell you something. If he's got any idea that I'm going to pay for it, he's got another thing coming. I just got through paying for the wedding.
But, Stanley...
And another thing, I think they ought to wait.
Wait for what?
For 7 or 8 years, that's what. What do they know about children? Why, Kay's just a child herself. Here she gets out of college, marries the first guy she comes in contact with. Now she's saddled with a baby.
Stanley Banks, you listen to me. I left school to marry you. Do you remember that? And do you remember when we were married? Of course you don't. We were married on the 4th of September.
What's that got to do with
And do you remember when Kay was born?
the 21st of June?
Exactly. While my class was up there on the platform graduating, I was home having a baby.
Well, I don't...
Oh, Stanley, I know they haven't money, and the apartment is small, but those things don't really matter, do they? The important thing is that we're going to have a grandchild. Darling, it's like getting a dividend.
It's like getting a dividend.
Yeah, something comes to you and you don't even lift a finger. You have none of the responsibilities of a baby, none of the hardships. All you have to do is love it. Hello? Ruth, I have the most marvelous news for you. I'm going to be a grandmother.
It's like getting a
Yes. Isn't that divine? Oh, we're so excited. Yes, Kay told us about it tonight.
Ellie didn't seem to mind the idea. Maybe women were different, but when I thought a grandfather, well, I was the guy who was going places. The whole world of adventure was waiting, just waiting for me to give it the nod. And now a grandfather. I thought of the other grandfathers I knew. Why, they were old men. The toothless old codger down the street. That client of ours whose only fun was cutting people out of his will. Those ancient dodos at the club. You'd have to use a stethoscope to be sure they were still living. I didn't belong with them. I wasn't ready for the mothballs yet. Why, I hadn't even begun to live. The only trouble with me was I was a little out of condition. I spent the next afternoon in the gym.